Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Joe Davis from Southern New Hampshire University. Today we're going to talk about Justice 103 corrections, and it'll be the Welcome to Module 2. Just a few brief notes for you. As always, we have a discussion board, a module quiz, and then a short papers due this week. The discussion is about jails and the mentally ill. We're going to, I'll provide you with, I should say, a video mini lecture about that to guide you through content as well as the rubric to make sure you're off to a good start. You have all been doing very well on your discussion boards. I greatly appreciate that. The quiz, don't overlook that. Make sure you take that quiz. You shouldn't have any trouble with those, and it's kind of like giving points away. You don't want to do that. The short paper is about intermediate sanctions, and if you even just take a quick look at the table of contents, what's called the expanded table of contents, you'll see all the variety of intermediate sanctions there are. And I'll again do a video mini lecture to walk you through the content of that paper and the rubric. I have received questions about, gee, is there a penalty if we go over? I think it calls for 500 words. There isn't a penalty, but part of what the learning process is so that you can research information, you can evaluate it, analyze it, and then write a cogent, concise, brief synopsis, reply, essay, whatever it is about it. And so to just go extensively beyond about 2 pages, about 500 words, really loses part of what the exercise is about. And then frankly, from my point of view, pragmatically, with 28 in the class or wherever we're at right now, if everybody added 1 page, that'd be 14 additional pages, and that is the equivalent of 7 or 8 additional students. It would be a whole nother 6, 7, 8 papers. So pragmatically for me, it just adds tremendously to the workload. For you, the learning, it really is part of learning to be concise and say what's important. Okay, enrichment video presentation. We did one last week, or I provided you one, and I want to make sure everybody understands these are not assignments. Some of you have asked about specific topics. You've shown an interest in it, and so what I've done is tried to find from my collection of videos 1 or 2. This week there are 2 that you may find interesting if you're interested in that topic. It is strictly enrichment. There are no assignments required, and there is no extra credit available for this. If you have a particular topic or you see something, add it to the general questions, and I'll see if I have a video and I can email you the link to that. The first video provides an in-depth look at the challenges that mentally ill offenders face, as well as the criminal justice system, and it relates to pages 90 and 95. A little background for you. In the state of Wisconsin, and I think there are a total of about 21 states in the U.S., that when a suspect is arrested for a sex crime and is tried and convicted and determined to be a sexual predator, then sentenced to state prison, when that now inmate, defendant, is near release from state prison, the state, in this case Wisconsin, will go to civil court, file a motion, and make the prisoner a civil commitment to the state of Wisconsin. So the day they are released from prison, they are picked up by the state of Wisconsin Department of Health Services and transported to a mental health facility. And as you'll see in the 10-minute video, it's a prison. It looks, walks, talks, and acts like a prison, but it is a mental health facility. They may not leave that facility. The only way they can get out is by court order. They have to go to court, and the court determines that they're not a danger to society anymore. So it makes a very interesting review if that topic interests you. The second one I've added, it's a little longer, 23 minutes. It's one of those TEDx things, hopefully to stir your creative juices and get your minds thinking a little bit about, do we need to talk about injustice? And Brian Stevenson is a civil rights attorney, primarily capital case attorney, and what he talks about is the injustice in our system. And as you can see, it talks about mass incarceration and distortion of race, comparing it to poverty and those types of issues. You may or may not agree with Mr. Stevenson, and that's fine. I hope that when you're finished viewing, if you elect to, you understand Mr. Stevenson's position, because that's very important for us to learn in developing our critical thinking skills. I may not agree with you, but I understand what it is you're saying. The other part of it is the real message from Mr. Stevenson is we don't talk about these topics. That we just, it's like they don't exist. And that's what he's really advocating, of course for his other positions, but primarily let's bring this to the discussion. I hope that helps you a little bit, gives you an idea for week 2, module 2. If you have any questions, let me know, and keep those cards and letters coming.